this. Okay, I got this application, but I've never actually used it before, but I think it's going to record well. I'm glad you got the video, though, so people can actually see that you have glass.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really awesome YouTube video, or yeah, YouTube video.
Yeah, so did you get that message I just sent you?
No, what'd you say?
Check it out, I'll let you read it yourself.
Dude, you are awesome. You have no idea how excited I am. Like, what was the analogy? Okay, yeah, so this girl I know, she loves Justin Bieber, and I was trying to explain to her how excited I was about Google Glass, and I was like, just picture if Justin Bieber had 3 options of picking girls, and he emailed you and said that you were one of those options. And she was like, I'd be pretty excited. I was like, that's how ecstatic I am right now about this. So I'm stoked. Dude, you're awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I gotta find. I mean, I've got the money, but I gotta figure out a job because I will be literally broke after this. I've got like $1,800 left after I just spent like $200 at Sam's Club on food, so
Yeah.
I'm broke. But I got some questions for you.
All right.
Have you checked out my Android channel before? I posted.
I have not yet.
Okay, I'll send you the link after this video so you can check out the video that I post. I really haven't posted in a long time, but I used to make a lot of videos on like cell phone reviews and stuff, and I made a couple on glass back kind of when I first like figured out what glass was.
Right.
But I've got 4 questions, and I figure out that since we both like glass, 4 questions will last about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But the first one is, where do you see glass in 5 years? I think I might have asked you this one at the conference.
In 5 years, I see it as being something completely different than what it is right now. Where it is now, like, it's very new. Like,
Yeah.
or like they're coming out with their new version 2 with like the new earpiece. They keep adding to it, but it's still a brand new product. And like as of right now, there's not as many apps as there will be 5 years from now. 5 years from now, I'll be saying, oh, heck, I might even have my own Google car by then and be like, okay, Google Glass, drive my car around.
Yeah. Self-driving cars. Dude, it's exciting to me because I feel like being an explorer, you really have the opportunity to kind of get in early. Like like you get in before like everyone else does. And if you develop apps in advance, like you can really shape the future of glass,
Definitely.
I think that's just so cool. I'm horrible at developing apps, but I'm gonna give it a shot at when I get my pair.
Right.
What color glass do you have? Because I know you've got a new skin on there now. Do you have the black one by default?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just black by default.
Is that a new skin?
This is the American flag skin I have on it now.
That's
Finally
nice.
came in the mail.
Where do you get those skins from?
There's a guy, he makes them. It's called G-Pop. I believe his name is David Lee.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Let's see.
What do they cost?
This one was about $10. The other one you saw me wearing was, it is David Lee. The other one you saw me wearing, the Space Invaders one, is about $15. He has a website where you can actually go and just order them right off there. He has different kinds. He has basic ones that are just design patterns. He has, I think, the Komachi code and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. See, my biggest problem right now is I don't know what color glass I'm gonna get. So I'm thinking, even if I fuck up and get a color I really don't want, then I could still probably get the skin to put on top of it. So, okay, next question is, what's the best feature of glass right now? So what do you use the most, more than anything else?
I definitely use the camera more than anything else, just because of the perspective and the ease of use. Because with the phone, like, they have phones now that just have like a button on the side and stuff like that, but still, I have to pull it out of my pocket. I have to focus on the picture. With this, all I have to do is just click the button, and the picture's taken.
And I see it there in your eye. And it does autofocus, right? I'm going to assume that's kind of a basic technology.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not 100% positive on this, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Back in, I want to say the 5th update, they were having problems with like dark shooting, which the camera's not the best for night shots, but they put in a bit of HDR. So I believe I don't do coding and don't know about how it actually works.
Yeah.
But as I've been told, is that it actually takes several shots at once and combines them together to make basically an HDR photo.
Okay. See, I read something about that as well. Because it's only a 5 megapixel camera, and the shots it gets are really crisp and clear.
Right.
And I don't think it's that good of a sensor on that thing. So maybe it's just really. But I'm gonna put my headphones in really quick so my mic doesn't pick up your voice. I just thought about this. But yeah, because I've been seeing some photos and the video as well are just really, really good. It's something that I wouldn't expect from that kind of a camera.
Hmm.
And I kind of feel like the camera is almost an afterthought, like because it's only 5 megapixels and only shoots 720p. I wonder if they're going to increase that in the next the
Yeah,
updated version we get.
that's what I'm hoping. I was trying to get in contact with the Glass team about that,
Yeah,
but they weren't exactly telling me.
much of anything.
Yeah, because they were kind of just beating around the bush. Let me see if I can pull up the email. Yeah, they basically said there's a few tweaks in our hardware design with their feedback that we got from our explorers, and then also the fact that it will an update to the I guess the nose piece. I'm guessing because it'll work with
Yeah,
their future line of shades and prescription frames.
yeah, and that's a really big one too for being like future proof. Like if I'm going to pay $1,500 for this pair of glass, I want to make sure that when the prescription lenses and shades come out, I'm not having to buy a whole new version. At least hopefully I won't have to make it
Right.
work with them. So I think that's a really big one too.
Yeah, what I really love is the fact that they're giving us all the explorers that have previously had it. They're giving us the free upgrade to the latest version.
Yeah, and do you have to drive to New York to get your version, or will they mail it to you?
They don't. They haven't come out and said like what exactly they're going to do.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure because of the fact for you, you don't have to go to New York to pick yours up. You can if you want to, but you
Hmm.
can have it mailed to you. So I'm pretty sure at least how they've done like when they replaced. Because I used to have the white model at first and it broke,
Hmm.
and they replaced it for me. They just sent it in the mail.
Okay. So okay on that. So I can go to New York and pick up my pair.
Yes, I believe that you should be able to go. That they will allow you. Well, as far as I know, they allow you to go to any three of their offices,
Okay.
which is the San Francisco, the LA, and the
New
New
York.
York office, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
mistaken.
not. I'm not driving to California. So.
Right.
Where are you at right now? Are you still in Durham or
I'm in Raleigh.
Raleigh? Okay. Yeah, that's right. You lived in Raleigh. Um, okay. Hold on. I got another question for you. Let me look through. Yeah, because honestly, I might just make a weekend out of it. I got 4-day weekends every weekend because of my schedule. I might just
Hmm.
make a weekend out of it and drive it to New York because I think it'd be more like memorable if I like took a trip up to New York to get them fitted and all that stuff, and actually got to talk with some glass
Yeah,
developers, which I think would be pretty
that's what
awesome.
I ended up doing, and well, I had to do it by default. And
Hmm.
you also get to like the New York is a great place to use glass for your first time because using the walking directions on it. The only problem I had is I think like 3 hours after I left the glass event, my glass battery had already like completely died. I had to stop at the
Yeah.
Starbucks to charge up.
Yeah, yeah. But you said it charges really fast though, right?
Yeah, it charges. I'd say it takes like about an hour to completely finish a charge.
Okay. And see, what kind of is a paradox for glass is that they're trying to make it so light, yet they want it to be used all day long, and it's really hard. They need a totally different battery technology, I think, to make the battery last longer,
Right.
or a better processor. Um, so that's kind of one of the questions I've got here. What hardware changes would you like to see the glass, like
Well,
over in the
well,
consumer
definitely, I'd
release?
like to see the camera upgraded
Hmm.
as well as the battery upgraded.
Yeah.
Other than that, my main problem with it is the fact that it only doesn't support wireless in. I believe it only goes up to G, maybe is G right below N.
I think it's A, B, G. I think it's
Yeah.
just. I think they just do A, B. Honest. See, I don't know what the numbers mean. I just know that there's just different levels of standard. So
Yeah,
can you
but
still connect to your home Wi-Fi?
well, originally I had my router set up to specifically only wireless in. Oh yeah, so it's only B and G that they
B
support
and
for
G.
glass.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to actually downgrade my Wi-Fi from wireless in for it to actually be able to connect to it, which I wasn't really that upset about. I usually just keep it at wireless in by default because it's supposed to be faster.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're on the road, do you Bluetooth pair or do you set up a hotspot? What do you do?
By default it does Bluetooth, and I leave it at that because usually it's faster and uses less battery power on my phone and the glass device itself.
You've got the Galaxy S4, right?
Right.
So is what version of Android is it running? Is it 4.3 or 4.2?
4.22.
Okay. So because I was wondering because on 4.3 they made a version so you can do Bluetooth Low Energy, and I'm wondering how much battery is it really like visibly draining your battery when you have your glass connected for a long time?
It doesn't use that much. Let me actually look at my battery stats. I can
Are
remember
you
where I'm.
are you paired to Bluetooth right now?
Yeah. Well, no, it's probably Wi-Fi now, and which is mainly what it will be seen. But I can probably look back on my record too, because now, I, I'm not sure where my phone is actually though. But
So will it switch between your home Wi-Fi versus your phone based on where you're at?
yeah, it does it automatically because it has you have to tell it in order to connect to Wi-Fi on the phone app. You just tell it, the Wi-Fi password is whatever, and the SID, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And it connects automatically as soon as it detects it in range. So I'm not
Okay.
sure how often it's detecting, but my S4 connects right away when I get close to my Wi-Fi, and it does about the same with my glass. I'm not
Okay.
sure if it looks for a signal for when your phone disconnects from 4G and switches over to Wi-Fi. It could be doing that, but I'm not sure if it's that complicated.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder. And I also wonder, what if you have to have you ever logged into what if you have to log into a web page to sign into the Wi-Fi? Because I know that on campus I have to log into a web page before I can sign onto the Wi-Fi. Is that able to be done on Glass yet, or no?
As of right now, secondary logins are not supported on Glass.
Okay.
I haven't been able to do it yet, but you might be able to now due to the fact it has a better web browser support. So what you could possibly, I haven't tried it out yet.
Okay.
I've been meaning to, but I can bring up a web page if I go through. Let's see, if I click on like this Twitter thing has a link in it. If I click on it and say view site, it'll automatically bring up the site, which by default on one of those internet connections would by default bring up their web browser, and then you can scroll through it and click on a link in it, which would
Okay.
automatically connect you. Hopefully, unless you had to type in, some of them ask you to type in like your username and information like that.
That's the one that I have. Yeah, that's not possible, is it?
Right. With that, I do not believe so as of right now. What you
So
could do though
yeah.
is if you spoke with your tech department, you could have them register your MAC address of your glass to their server so that so you can bypass their security.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
that'd be something you'd have to consult with them about.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because on campus there's great Wi-Fi, but there's no reception in any of my rooms, any of the classrooms. And I know that if I ever wore glass, I'd wear it in like 3 of my 5 classrooms, and I'd never have, and I don't have reception, so I can't tether to it. So I'd want to use the Wi-Fi there. Um, I'd probably figure out some way to talk to the tech team about that though. That's a
Yeah.
good that's a good idea. I never thought about that. All right, one last question here. Okay, how far away from a consumer release do you think Glass is? Judging by how it is right now for you, how the software is, when do you think it'll be ready?
Well, due to the interface, it could be launched as soon as they really feel like it. But I'd say due to the fact of this next launch that they just came up with, they're tripling their Glass Explorers. So they're speeding up their release. However, at the same time, this also means that we're not going to see it for another couple months because this is 3 times the amount of people that they will have to test out Glass more.
Hmm.
So I'm suspecting that they'll have that this version that they're coming out now isn't going to be a final version. It's another test version
Okay.
that they won't be the market version.
Okay. Now, when I was at the Durham event, I tried on a pair of glass, and literally nothing I tried actually worked. So that's actually the inspiration for that question was I tried a Google search, and it couldn't connect to the internet. I tried to record a video. It recorded the video, but then it couldn't play it back. It just sat there and spun, and then my glass froze. So my demo with glass was very, very abrupt and bad. And I couldn't switch pairs, so I just kind of the only thing I actually saw that worked was taking a video. And I wonder if they can nail out all that stuff before like Google I/O next year, which is kind of when I'm expecting a release to be at. Hopefully, um, I wonder how much is left there for them to do.
Right. Well, I
And
talked with people after the event. The problem that you were seeing with the Wi-Fi was due to the fact that their router wasn't basically didn't support as many devices were actually plugged in. So basically, it got overloaded.
okay,
That's what I was told. As well as with the video, I'm not sure. I've never seen that happen before. Like usually, like if I create a video right now,
hmm
once it's done recording, I'll be able to. Don't extend. Stop. Once I stop recording, I just have to click on it and it plays right away. So
okay,
it could have just been something because like there are times when glass just won't work. Like I have
hmm
problems sometimes where I do my head nod and I say okay glass, it doesn't really respond at all. I'll tap it, still not responding. Like the group tap will respond,
hmm
but okay glass isn't responding. So I'll actually have to power cycle the device. So that actually might
Okay.
have happened because they had seen so many users and so many commands, it might have just overloaded its system and needed to be power cycled.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I wonder with that if you so how do you is there a power button? Is it the glass button on the back that's the power button?
Right. There's the power button is actually right here. You just hold it down,
Okay.
and it starts to a spinning circle pops up in the oh, it's gone now in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just wait for it. You hold it down until the light on the back pops back up, and then
Mm-hmm.
it turns itself back on.
Okay, and how long does start up? What's the animation there when it starts up? Is there anything?
Right now, I'm seeing just the letters glass, in their iconic
Okay.
symbols.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just takes a while to boot up. It flashes. Sometimes I've seen interesting things when it's booting up. Like I've seen Bluetooth icons up here as well as like a Wi-Fi icon, which I've asked
Okay.
them about, and they're like, "Oh, we've never seen that
It's
before."
still in beta version, so or alpha. Is it alpha stage still?
Um, the version is version 10, so the beta I'm guessing would have been pre their numbers because this is Glass
Okay.
Explorer Edition. Well, update. It's version of 10 that it's
X.
running now.
Okay, and okay, so when the 10th version came out, what abilities did you get? Because I stopped listening after the 8th. I haven't read anything since then.
Right. Well, let's see. The ninth was the best one, I want to say. I'll make sure it is 10. Yeah, XE10.
Hmm.
The ninth version allowed you to search videos, so I can say, okay, Glass, Google video of like how to change the clutch on whatever,
Yeah,
and you can go through and watch a video.
on YouTube.
Hmm.
Is there a YouTube app?
It's not a specific app. It's basically the same thing as if on your phone you say, um, okay, Google, search video of whatever. It's the same as how your Google Now works on your smartphone.
Okay, okay.
So you just have to give it the video command. There's specific keywords that it looks for. If you say video before or after the phrase, so if I said, "What does the fox say?" video, it's going to come up with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Um,
watch it, but I can't stand that video.
I
Okay,
know.
so also when we start getting a lot of apps in the app or in the glassware store, whatever it ends up being called, which I heard is starting soon. How do you think we'll be able to access all those apps? Because if I have to remember a command for every single one, like OK Glass take a Snapchat or OK Glass post to Facebook says, do you think we're gonna have to say a command for every single application, or how do you think they're gonna manage the apps? Because if I got 100 apps on my phone, how do I access all those? Right now I can just tap them in the app drawer. How do you think you do that with all those commands?
Well, apps are completely different on Glass than you would think them of being on your phone. Whereas on Glass, I say OK Glass. The only commands I have are take a video, take a picture, Google, call someone, video call, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have a sports app. I don't say OK Glass, show me sports. I sit around and wait till I get a sports update, which I believe I got. I haven't got one yet today, but
And you
it just pops up automatically. So
and you
apps are.
get that because it's connected to your Gmail account in the Google Now.
Say again.
You get that card because you've asked about that sport on your Gmail account, or
That for that specific card, that is already automatically pinned in the back where I
mm-hmm.
can where it's listing my stocks and the Mavericks are playing in 6 hours against the Hawks apparently. Um, but the built like the added on apps that they have, let me get their specific names. These apps are secondary party apps. So basically, to get them to work, I just have to go to my glass page, which is just google.com/myglass,
Mm-hmm.
and once I get access to that, it has a list of all their apps, which I'm thinking eventually, once they have so many apps that you can't just scroll through them,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to search it, and it'll have better icons, and it'll have a video describing what the actual app does. Because right now,
Okay.
it says, "Hey, this is the app. Turn on or turn off." Some of
Yeah, I
them,
saw that in the email you sent me the other
right?
yesterday.
Yeah, some of them will direct you to their page where it'll actually describe you, "Hey, sign up for this sport. Don't sign up for this one, et cetera, et cetera." Um, but like, okay, for let's see, I have Sports Yapper. If I click on that, I can click on it, brings up a description. Super fun, stay up to date with your get the games, MFL, MLB, all that stuff. Then if I click on settings, it actually takes me to their website where I
Hmm.
sign in with my Google account, where I can actually change which sports I'm tracking, more on the lines of what team I'm, more into, et cetera, et cetera. So,
And it'll send you a card to your glass whenever it thinks there's something important. Gotcha.
right,
So you're not actually opening apps; they send information to you.
right. So like
Got it.
Twitter, you get a Twitter update. You don't open Twitter to look at it. It comes straight to you. The glass makes a beeping sound. It's like a kind of like a ding sound saying that there's been an update,
Okay.
and it just goes straight from there.
And then you can scroll through your timeline to see it.
Right. Like the last thing I got was that video I took. Before that, I got an email that came in,
Hmm.
and so you can scroll through your previous posts, but the ones that will pop up will be just directly there right after the OK Glass home screen.
Okay. And if you go forward, what do you see in the future? Like why what would ever be in the future? Like past
What do
your
you,
OK Glass app. Like what
okay,
cards would be
so
there?
all right, so if I go back, if well, okay, so all right, the command. So if I swiping forward brings me to my messages or incoming, basically notifications. Forward is
Okay.
notifications. If I go back, I see my pin tabs. You can pin any tab. I can pin the sports tabs. I can pin a picture. I can pin whatever I would like. But by default, I have the Google Now pin. So it's showing the weather in Raleigh, showing how far away it is for me to get to work, the Mavericks, stocks, and then of course my settings.
So you've pinned specific ones like you could pin setting to be the third card back from home.
Right.
Okay. And you can pin your sports teams to be the second card back from home.
Mhm.
Okay. And then after that it starts going through like your photos and stuff like that or
Well,
recent
your
events.
photos are automatically on the other side where your notifications are.
Okay.
So they're mixed in between your messages based upon whatever time you took the photo.
Okay. So if you snap a bunch of photos at once, can you get them on your computer through the normal ways of a cell phone?
Right. If
Like the
you just plug it
DCI
in,
encoder?
mhm.
Okay.
Once you plug your glass right in, it detects it as actually detects it as if it's a camera.
Okay.
I haven't heard of any problems with any computers not being able to recognize it. I have not tried it on my Chromebook yet, but because I know that thing has problems with detecting my Nexus.
Oh,
Uh,
really? I
right.
don't. Do you have the Nexus 4?
I had the Nexus 7, the
Okay.
original model.
See, I didn't have any problem with the Nexus 7, but I used to have a Nexus 4, and it had my Windows 8. Maybe it was just Windows 8, but it had a lot of trouble figuring out what that phone was. And I
Right.
wonder if that's because it was the only unlocked phone I've ever had. And the
Yeah.
Nexus 7's unlocked too, so I wonder if that's something to do with it. If it can't find the drivers, maybe. But do you have the
Well, because the
2013
Nexus 7
Nexus?
I had was just the Wi-Fi model, so it wasn't even
Hmm.
you wouldn't if but
Yeah, it
okay.
would never be locked. You're right.
But let's see. If it should pop up, it'll just pop up as a. But this is the Acer C7, whatever the $200, not one of the newer ones they came out with,
The
and it
C7
doesn't
Chromebook.
look like it's pulling it up by default. I might have to go to my files to wake it up.
Does it normally pick up like your phone and stuff by default?
Like
Okay.
if I plug a hard drive in, so yeah, it looks like it's not picking it up. I might just be doing something wrong now. I might have to restart it to get it to pick it up, but it didn't automatically pick it up on the Chromebook. But
Okay.
apparently the newer Chromebooks are actually like this one actually won't even connect to your Chromecast, whereas the new HP model and the newer ones will connect.
I think
It's
that's
something.
kind of ironic that I mean I've got the Chromecast too. I think it's kind of ironic that the Chromebook would not stream to the Chromecast, even if you're on YouTube on your browser.
I don't have a Chromecast, but this is what the
Oh, okay.
in store told me. They might have fixed it now, but
Yeah,
she was telling me, yeah, it doesn't work directly with the Chromebook. I was like, wait,
that's
what?
yeah. I mean they're both Google products. I don't know. The Chromebook never really took off, but I did really look into the Pixel at one point in time when I was trying to buy a new computer because I love that screen. I love Google, but in the end of the day, I don't think that web-based applications are the way of the future. I think
Well,
Google's got something wrong there.
well, if you look at it, they just actually revealed like a whole new line. They have their Chromebook HP 14, the
Hmm.
Acer C7 20 model, and the HP 11. They're all very good computers. The best part about them is their price, because
Hmm.
people nowadays don't use their computer for what people used to use them for. People used to use their computers mainly for gaming stuff like that.
Hmm.
The average computer user doesn't game on their computer. Yeah, they might play a
True.
flash game here and there, but mainly they'll pull out their Xbox or their PlayStation to do that.
For gaming, yeah. And you can get, I mean, I use Google Docs instead of Microsoft Word. I mean, if I didn't do video editing, because I make these videos for YouTube, if I didn't do any of that, I could probably live with the Chromebook because you've got your Google Docs on there online, and the price tag. I mean, I think it's like the new ones have Haswell, I think, which is the new processor from Intel, and that's really good. And you really don't need more than 16 gigs of storage, anyways. I've got a terabyte, and I've probably used maybe 100 gigs. That's because I never delete anything in my life. But
Right.
I've got 32 on my LG G2, and I've maybe used 8. So
Right.
if I had a Chromebook, I feel like I treat it similar to the way I treat my phone. You know, you don't
Mm.
really store too much on it. But
Yeah.
you have a normal computer as well,
Right.
like a
Well,
Windows.
yes, I have a Windows 8 on mine, 8.1, whatever. Hate it, but
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. I returned my Windows 8 computer actually because I didn't like it that much. I'm back with my Windows 7 now.
well, I do like the touchscreen. However, I was dancing with my fiance a couple days ago, and I stepped on the screen, so the touchscreen doesn't work anymore.
Wow, that sucks. What
Yeah,
computer
but
do you
like
have?
the screen works fine though, so I can still see everything on the screen. There's just a little
Yeah.
crack going down the side.
That's
So I
funny.
gotta take it in for repairs. And of course, this one I didn't get the warranty on it because they were like, okay, you can get the accidental for like $200. I was like, it's only a
Yeah.
$600
I don't
computer. I'm
need
not gonna
that.
pay $200.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous.
For
For a
yeah,
six
I was
hundred
like,
dollar laptop, you shouldn't pay that much.
no,
Check
best
out
because
check out. You're on my Facebook page. Check out. There's a video I have on there of me with Windows 8, and literally all the applications that I had. Whenever I opened up the app, everything had black squares instead of any letters or numbers. So I
really,
couldn't do anything throughout the entire operating system. I restarted it, didn't fix it, ended up selling the computer on eBay, and I pray for that poor soul that bought it. I factory reset it first, but yeah, it's on my Facebook page. Everything was just black tiles, so you
hmm,
couldn't actually see anything unless you were in desktop mode. It
that,
aggravates me. I don't know who released this shit as a finished product, but HP is going, or Microsoft does not know what's going on right now.
well,
I heavily
as
disagree with
they are.
that.
They have a good version, bad version, good version, bad version, good version. That's just how they work.
It's exactly right. I'm waiting for Windows 9, man. I want something good to come out of this.
Like Windows XP. What the heck? Did anyone even use Windows 2000? Then
I
Windows.
never even heard of it. I know XP. I know Vista. Vista was
Yeah,
a shit show.
Vista was horrible. Then
Yeah,
Windows 7 was great.
love Windows 7.
Windows 95 was good. Windows
Mm-hmm.
98 wasn't even was so so.
Yeah, I had Windows 95 on my first laptop, and that was in like the year 2000 when it was still pretty old, and I was like finally understanding how to use a computer. And then I got Vista, which I hated, and then I had XP. I went backwards in that time cycle because I always got these from my parents. And then I had Windows 7, and then I switched to Windows 8. And the only one I could not do is Windows 8. I
Well,
did not.
Windows 8, like the one feature I'm loving right now is the fact that so my Windows, over here, and on
Mm-hmm.
my side screen, I actually have the Skype call and I still have my full desktop over here. So it doesn't interfere with like I still have my full desktop application. I could probably still be playing a game over here if I really wanted to
So you're saying
because it's
You're on Windows 8 mode on Skype over here, and then you've
right.
got your desktop mode over here.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, see, like I've got you on Skype on my computer, and then I've got my desktop over here. But I don't. I love their user interface. I think it looked really sleek and clean, but I never understood the changes they made. I don't get the App Store because they don't have many apps that are even worthwhile. And then I hated when I tried to download something and it would redirect me to the App Store because I really don't want the apps. I want a desktop program, you know. So
Right.
maybe I just didn't try hard enough. But I had it for like 3 months and I was fed up
Yeah.
with it. So now I'm
Yeah.
back on Windows 7 and I'm loving life. Anyways, I've taken up a lot of your time. Thank you so much for the invite, dude. You're awesome.
All right. No
I
problem.
cannot wait to get Google Glass. We should do this again sometime. I'll bring up a few more questions so we can do this again later on, seeing how this video goes over on YouTube.
All right. Sounds good.
Definitely. I'll link you to the video when I put it up on YouTube, and you can subscribe to my channel, like, favorite, comment, follow me on Twitter. You
Will
know.
do.
All right, dude. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.